Do you have a hard time speaking up when you're around people? If so, then you need to figure out how to be less shy and more talkative. Today, I want to share with you the exact same process that I've used to feel less self-conscious and never run out of things to say. My name is Mike Macapinlac. I help STEM professionals improve their social confidence. If you're new to the channel, remember to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when I post a new video every single week. Being shy can hold you back from living a more fulfilling life. Because you're afraid of interacting with others, you probably tend to avoid social situations. If that's the case, then you're going to miss out on a lot of opportunities to meet like-minded people. But just like anything, you can overcome your social anxiety if you're willing to put in the work. That being said, here are 10 actionable tips that you can implement right away. All right, let's get into it. Tip number 1 is to recall previous successes. Most individuals who struggle socially have a bad habit of remembering past failures. They replay it in their heads repeatedly. That's why they don't feel good about themselves. Remember, your thoughts affect your emotions. A negative feeling is a sign that you're focusing on something that's making you feel bad. If you're wondering how to be less shy and more talkative, stop beating yourself up mentally. Make a conscious effort to control the way you think. Whenever you make a mistake, do your best to learn from it. Once you've done that, just brush it off and move on. You don't need to keep dwelling on it. Ruminating too much is not productive and is not good for your mental health. If you're wondering how to be more socially confident, try to remember as many positive social interactions that you've had in the past. By doing so, you'll realize that you're not doing as bad as you might have assumed. The more you do this, the more you'll put yourself out there and take risks. Over time, you'll get rid of your self-doubt and become more outspoken when you're around people. Tip number 2 is to plan ahead of time. It's totally normal to fear the unknown. That being said, if you want to know how to be less shy and more talkative, you need to plan ahead of time. That way, you don't bail on events that you want to attend last minute. You can mitigate your fears by researching the social gathering that you want to go to. Try to anticipate what most people might be talking about and come up with some stories that you can share. You can also familiarize yourself with trending topics and stay up to date with current events. The more prepared you are, the more confident you'll be talking to anybody. You'll be able to add value to any conversation, which will make you feel more included. As a result, you'll be able to build rapport with others much faster, and you'll have a great time at any get-together. Tip number 3 is to sit with a feeling. Most people who struggle socially have a hard time controlling their emotions. If you want to learn how to be less shy and more talkative, you have to get good at managing how you feel. At the end of the day, it'll be hard to come across as someone charismatic if you feel tense while you're talking to someone. That being said, just know that emotions come and go. This is where having a mindfulness practice comes into play. Every morning, I recommend you start your day by having a quiet moment to be with yourself. Also, get in the habit of writing down your thoughts on paper instead of keeping them in your head. By doing so, you'll prevent yourself from overthinking all the time. When you meditate and journal regularly, you'll be able to slow down your mind and relax your body. You'll begin to notice your thoughts without the need to act on any of them. That way, you'll be able to recognize whatever limiting beliefs that you have. You'll be able to reframe them and tell yourself more empowering stories instead. It's your mind anyway. You can fill it with anything that you want. You might as well choose thoughts that make you feel good and that support your goals. Tip number 4 is to tell good stories. As a social skills coach, I've worked with a lot of engineers, programmers, and developers in the past. Most of them struggle socially because they just don't know any better. If that sounds like you and you're wondering how to be less shy and more talkative, you have to be able to communicate yourself effectively. In order to do that, you have to know how to tell good stories. That being said, the next time you share something, make sure you structure it well. Set up your story by giving some background and creating contrast if it applies. Make sure you use descriptive words in order to engage the senses. Leave out unnecessary facts and emphasize how things make you feel instead. And then release the tension that you've built up when you make your point. When you do these things, you'll make whatever you share sound really interesting. You'll come across as a captivating storyteller, and you'll have more engaging interactions with whoever you talk to. Tip number 5 is to ask more open-ended questions. Have you ever been in a situation where your conversation felt like an interview? You're just asking one question after the other, and the interaction feels forced? If so, then you were probably asking close-ended questions which require one-word answers. If you want to know how to be less shy and more talkative, avoid doing this at all costs. Instead, make an effort to ask more open-ended questions. For example, instead of asking, "Do you like your job?" you can ask, "What do you like most about your job?" Do you see the difference? The first one can be answered with a yes or no, while the second one requires more of an explanation. By doing so, you and the person you're talking to will have more information to work with. As a result, your interactions will feel effortless. You'll be able to easily keep the conversation going and prevent having any awkward silences. Tip number 6 is to take the attention away from yourself. People who don't feel comfortable in social situations are always in their heads. They're constantly wondering what others might be thinking about them. If you want to figure out how to be less shy and more talkative, you need to shift your focus. Take the attention away from yourself and put it on others instead. The best way to do this is to view yourself as a student and be interested in learning about others. Follow your curiosity and really try to get to know the person you're talking to. The truth is, we're all inherently selfish. That's why we like people who like us. That being said, the next time you interact with someone, be there fully and give them your undivided attention. Be present and really try to see where they're coming from. By doing these things, you'll make anybody you talk to feel special. You'll stand out in a good way and people will look forward to seeing you again. Tip number 7 is to work on your delivery. The majority of your communication is nonverbal. It's not just what you say, but how you say it matters too. If you want to know how to be less shy and more talkative, you have to improve your delivery. The next time you talk to someone, raise your energy slightly and try to speak a bit louder. Use your hands to accentuate what you're saying and vary your tonality as well. Doing these things will definitely help you hold people's attention better. If you're not used to speaking in this manner, you just have to keep at it. Eventually, it'll become a natural part of how you communicate. Tip number 8 is to not compromise your values. Most individuals who struggle socially tend to seek approval from others too much. That's why they stifle their personality and try way too hard to fit in. Keep in mind that nobody likes people who are fake. If you're wondering how to be less shy and more talkative, you have to stay true to yourself. Remember, there are billions of people in the world. You don't need to compromise your values just to be accepted by others. No matter how hard you try, there's no way you'll be able to get along with everybody. Some people will like you, some won't, and that's totally okay. My advice for you is to just focus on becoming the best version of yourself. The more authentic you are, the faster you'll find the right relationships for you. Tip number 9 is to make an effort to socialize. If you want to figure out how to be less shy and more talkative, you can't keep playing it safe. You need to step outside of your comfort zone and keep putting yourself out there. That's why whatever you do, avoid activities that isolate you for too long. You need to fight the urge to do what's comfortable. Instead, you'll want to create as many opportunities as you can to interact with others. Remember, nothing happens when you don't leave your house. For now, I recommend you cut back on watching television and playing video games. As intimidating as it could be, accept all valid invitations from others. Always keep an open mind and try things you normally wouldn't. Face your social fears and do the things that scare you. The more you do, the more courageous you're going to become. You'll prove to yourself that you're capable of going for what you want if you set your mind into it. As a result, you'll improve your self-image and raise your self-esteem as well. Tip number 10 is to keep a journal. Seeing progress is very motivating. If you want to know how to be less shy and more talkative, I suggest you keep a journal. That way, you can keep track of how you're doing socially. You'll also be able to see tangible results that you've achieved after a period of time. Implementing this is actually very simple. When you get home from any gathering, take a moment to reflect. Identify what you did well and what you're going to do differently for next time. That way, you can be more strategic with how you go about things. But if you want to get results much faster, consider working with a social skills coach. That way, there will be no more guesswork because you'll have a proven plan to follow. You'll have someone give you feedback and keep you accountable as well. Remember, you talk to people every single day. The better your social skills are, the more doors will open up for you. You'll be able to make new friends, attract a quality partner, and advance in your career much faster. That's why improving your social confidence is one of the best things you can ever do. If you're shy and technically skilled and you want to know how to approach and talk to anybody, remember to download your free social confidence cheat sheet. The link is in the description below. If you're tired of struggling socially and you want to learn more about our social skills coaching program, book your free consultation today and let's connect. The link is in the description below as well. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who you know could benefit from it. And now, let's turn it to you. Which one of these steps are you going to implement first? Are you going to work on recalling previous successes or on telling good stories? Leave me a comment below and let me know. Alright, that's it for me for now, and I'll see you in the next video.